Hi friends. Welcome to an exciting quiz about Canada. From its landmarks to its history, let's see how much you know. You've got 5 seconds to answer each question. Let's get started.
What are the three parts of Parliament? Who is the Queen's representative in Canada? Who is Canada's head of state? Who is Canada's head of government? What is the highest court in Canada? Who has the right to vote in Canada? What are the responsibilities of Canadian citizenship? What are three rights in the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms? What is the meaning of the Canadian flag? Who were the first people to live in Canada? Who are the Métis? What is the significance of the crown in Canada? Who is the current Prime Minister of Canada? Who was the first Prime Minister of Canada? What is the capital of Canada? How many provinces and territories does Canada have? What are the two official languages of Canada? What is the role of the Governor General? How often do federal elections take place in Canada? Who was John A. Macdonald? What are the two main political parties in Canada? What is the significance of Remembrance Day? What is Canada's system of government? Who is the Premier of Ontario Province or Territory? Who represents the Queen in your province? What is the Federal Police Force of Canada called? What is the national anthem of Canada? What is Canada's official motto? What are the symbols of Canada? What is the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms? What is the role of the Cabinet in Canada? What are the roles of the Prime Minister in the Parliament? What are the responsibilities of a Member of Parliament? What is Canada's largest city? What is the significance of the beaver in Canada? What is the purpose of the Senate in Canada? What is the role of the Speaker of the House of Commons? How does a bill become a law in Canada? What is Canada's population size? What are Canada's natural resources? Who were Canada's first explorers? What is the significance of the Canadian Pacific Railway? Who was responsible for opening up Canada's West? What is the role of the RCMP in Canada? What are Canada's major geographical features? What is the significance of the War of 1812? What are Canada's main industries? How is Canada governed at the provincial level? How does the Canadian government support multiculturalism? What role did the French and British play in Canada's history? What are the provinces of Canada known for? What are the rights of Canadian citizens? How does Canada celebrate its national holidays? What is Canada's healthcare system like? Who is responsible for Canada's finances? What is the role of the Supreme Court of Canada? How does Canada participate internationally? What are Canada's climate zones? What does Canada's constitution consist of? What is Canada's approach to Indigenous reconciliation? What is Canada's largest export? What is the significance of the Group of Seven? What are Canada's main rivers? What is the significance of Niagara Falls? How does Canada address environmental issues? What role do provinces play in education? How do Canadians celebrate multiculturalism? What is the role of the Lieutenant Governor? How does Canada support new immigrants?
What are some key resources and support systems available for arts and culture initiatives in Canada?
What are Canada's national parks? What are Canada's official national sports? What is the Canadian citizenship ceremony like? What is Canada's approach to human rights? What does the Governor-General do during a state visit? How does Canada contribute to global environmental protection? What is the role of the Canadian Armed Forces? What are Canada's trade agreements? What are Canada's main agricultural products? What is the significance of the Canadian Arctic? How does Canada manage its natural parks? What is the role of Canada's Minister of Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship? What is Canada's largest territory? How does Canada's government ensure access to education? What is Canada's largest trading partner? How is Canada's government similar to the British system? What is the historical significance of Vimy Ridge? How does Canada handle natural disasters? How does the Canadian government support Indigenous communities? What are the major Indigenous languages spoken in Canada? What does it mean to be a Canadian citizen? How does Canada manage its border security? What role does the Minister of Health play in Canada? What is the significance of Canadian Thanksgiving? What is the purpose of Canada's foreign aid? What is Canada's national animal? How does Canada commemorate Remembrance Day? How do provincial governments in Canada handle healthcare? What role do Canadian provinces play in managing natural resources? What is the significance of the Canadian flag's design? How does Canada recognize Indigenous contributions to its culture and history?
And there you have it, all 100 civics questions for Canada. Thank you for joining us today, you've done brilliantly once more. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below, and we'll do our best to assist you in finding the answers. We appreciate you watching, you can absolutely do this. Have a fantastic day.